mobilizations is what I'll call them, as opposed to postures. We'll do these mobilizations, and you may not remember them. So some of these you may find that are necessity. All right. So particularly some things that I think are real important, which are hip extension. And I'll explain all this in a moment. So there's a couple of exercises we're going to do for hip extension that are so important, because if the hip is extended, when I say the hip is extended, this is a flexed hip. Right? This is an extended. This is an extended even more. All right. So those are extensions. And so I know, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. So the more you can extend your body, gives you more range of motion. All right. And so if you have more range of motion, you have more ability in the mechanics of your body to move. So if you're all like this all the time, it's hard to move, right? All right. So we're going to work on that area. Now we're going to work on range of motion. So let's do something just for a moment to play with that. So wherever you're sitting, if we're going to just play with range of motion. All right, so let's take one arm. Let's take our right arm in front of you. You can be sitting on a chair. All right, so range of motion is how far that arm will extend out to the side or come across the body, right? Without moving any. So I can move my body and move that arm back. But what we're going to do is we're isolating the range of motion in this arm to start with. And this is going to carry on from everything. All right, so let's take the arm out to the side, and I want you to bring it out, and I want you to feel it like, oh, that hurts. All right? All right? You feel that? All right, now that's your extended past your range of motion because you feel pain. Now let's come all the way back in. So now there's a difference here. There's discomfort and there's pain. All right? Discomfort and pain. This may be uncomfortable because you're extended through your range of motion that you're accustomed to, but it's not painful. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I take it back a couple of more inches, it may be painful. You see the difference, what I'm talking about? I want you to work to the edge of discomfort. Because if you stay in your comfortable range, you've not extended it, right? So you've got to be a little uncomfortable, but not in pain. All right, do we kind of all on the same page there? So we're working to a little bit of discomfort, but not pain. Like I'm back here. All right, what's the indications if I'm in pain here? I can't breathe. I'm holding my breath. I'm gritting my teeth. I've got an ugly look on my face. So we want to come just to the edge of that. What it is. So let's play with that. Arm out in front of us. Let's find two different. So we're not going to move our chest. We're just moving our arm. Let's bring it across. Where do you feel that edge? You feel that edge? Where's that edge for you? Come all the way back. Where's that edge for you without moving your chest? You see what I'm talking about here? All the way across now. Find pain this time. Pain. Oh, yeah. That hurts. And I'm even moving my shoulder. Now, my torso. Now, come back. Let's come back and feel pain here. Now, that's just too deep. Can you breathe? You're kind of holding your breath a little bit, all right? So come back to edge. Now, let's find where it works for you. Across. Where's that? Okay, I'm working. It's not comfortable. I'm past what I normally would. And I'm not using my other hand now. I'm using that one. Come all the way back. Now, I'm working on that discomfort. All right, it's not real comfortable here, but it's not painful. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's where I want you to work. Because here's what we want to do. We want to expand that uncomfortable range. And that's the work here. That's the work. We want to find where we can expand our range over time. One class ain't going to do it. 2 classes are not going to do it. Working on your mobility takes time. The best way to hurt yourself working your mobility is to work into pain. The best way to expand your capabilities is to work into slight discomfort and test that limit of discomfort. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, as opposed to a stretch, I may come back and hold it, right? All right, I'm stretching. All right. On a mobility exercise, we may do it 5 or 6 times. All right, I feel a little discomfort there. I feel a little less discomfort. I can come back a little bit more. So you're testing it. So you're doing, this is a mobilization. So we're trying to work. And that can be real subtle motivation, mobilizations. We might hold something where you appear to be stretching, but you may do something different. And you'll see one. You may tighten your buttocks, release it, tighten your buttocks, release it. But you may be holding something, but let's say if I'm tightening my neck, release, tightening my neck, release. I may be holding it, but I'm actuating the muscles and releasing them and finding a little bit more length and releasing. Okay? And that's the way we want to kind of work today in this whole mobilization work. All right? Okay. Now, we're going to start with discomfort. All right? So let's just talk about something here also. So this is the worst thing for mobilization, the chair. All right? So setting prolonged in a chair is the worst thing we do. All right? Setting in a chair is the worst thing we do. Why is that? Your legs and your hips are not made to stay like this, are they? All right. We're made to stand and we're made to sit on the floor. All right. So we're made to stand and we're made to sit on the floor. A lot of cultures beside Americans sit on the floor constantly. All right. So sitting on a chair for prolonged time, you know the definition of a sedentary person, regardless of who the person is, that's even an athlete, is sitting in a chair or sitting immobile for 5 hours a day. 5 hours a day. All right. When you do that, when you're sitting in this chair, because we're, in our chair class, we normally sit at the front of the chair, our thighs are not on the chair, we're not using the back of the chair, but we don't sit like that at home, do we? Yeah. Everything's bent over. You've got all the weight on these bottom muscles in your hips, in the bottom of your thighs, in your quadriceps, in your hamstrings. And all that stuff is solidifying. It's just not moving. And so you're set more than 5 hours. You're getting a lot of stationary results in your body from sitting in a chair. And then it's more than that. It's just more than the thigh, because most of us lean forward. All right? We're either looking at a screen or we're looking at a TV with our head forward. That head forward. All right, this is an 8-pound block on our head pulling our lower back forward, and we wonder why we have back problems. Right? Setting is the main issue. All right, so how do we counteract that? One of the easiest way to do that is sitting on the floor. All right, now we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about getting up and off the floor, because doing this simple action here is work, isn't it? All right. Notice a small child. How many times as small children, they normally don't sit on a child. I mean, I've got 5 grandsons. They're always on the floor, playing in the floor, and they're getting up and down 50 times an hour, constantly. That strengthens your entire body. The simple act of getting up and off the floor. All right? And we forget how to do that, particularly when we have some issues going on with our body, when we are tired. It's easy to sit in a recliner or a couch and just, it is. But we do so much sitting. I mean, we can sit in the floor and watch the TV. We can sit and do a lot of things. So that's what I want us to start working at, is how do we get out of the chair and use the floor? Does that make sense to you? All right. Ma'am? What now? Is that the best pose? I'm going to give you 4 different poses how to sit. All right? I'm going to give you 4 different poses how to sit, but we're going to play with getting up and off the floor. Okay? So we're going to play with getting off the floor. So, we're going to talk about that. So here's one of the biggest tests of how to get up and off the floor of your hip mobility. Legs crossed if you can lift that. That's hard. Yeah. That's very hard. Just try it. Try that. Try it. Everybody out there, even you guys out there, try that. Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? Yeah, that's hard. All right, now what's even harder is, there you go. Ah, what's even harder is coming back down. All right, so now you notice how, look how I use my hands. I come forward and I lift. I didn't touch the floor though. I used a forward motion. I'm using my hands to come down. I'm not falling down either. I'm coming down easy. All right, now I was watching y'all. I saw one person do it. All right, now, so how do we play with this? So let's play with this. Let's play with this. Let's take our legs wide. Let's take our legs wide, right? So turn one leg. I'm dropping my left knee. I'm bringing my hands to the floor. I'm bringing the right leg over. All right. Now, if you're near that chair, curl your back toes under, lift up, step your feet together. All right, was that hard for you? All right, let's do something here. Let's come back and sit on the chair and bring a chair near you over to your left. All right. All right. All right, we got the legs wide again. All right. I'm going to drop this left knee down. I'm coming my hand on the chair. Look how I'm doing this. Hand on the chair. I'm lifting up, stepping the feet together, and lifting up. Did that help you? All right, let's try that, Martha. Can you? All right, well, look here what I'm doing. All right, so I've got my legs wide. I'm going to drop. I'm drop one knee toward the chair. The other comes across, the leg stays bent. And I'm coming on that knee, hand to my chair. I lift it up, step my feet together, and lifting up. Wonderful. Right. I want you to do a favor. Do me a favor. Make sure you keep two legs of that chair on the mat. Okay. All right. So, did you get that, Martha? Can you? All right. All right. Now, can you come back down like that? So you look here. Now we're here. We're going to drop one knee down. Look how I did that. All right. I got the hand on the chair. I'm taking hands behind me and I'm rolling onto my butt. There you go. All right. We're going to do that several times. So make sure you've got something near you that you can use. All right. So that act was hard, right? But that's work. It took strength, didn't it? That working in and off the floor will build strength where you can eventually maybe do this. Who knows? But if you can do the easier or the more assisted version where you come across and just lift up, that's work. Yeah, you work. That's work. But look what that adds to the quality of your life. The simple act of getting up and off the floor. Do you agree? It's hard though. I know. Now, so let's talk about this. So we're working within what we can do today. You're just discovering things. Don't beat yourself up. You're just discovering things where you need to work on some things. You know, and this work may take time. I mean, it's not like overnight I can cross my legs and step right back up, right? You've got to do this a couple of thousand times, okay? And then as we were doing this, Martha, you know, I brought the right leg over. We did the same thing each time. Try each side. So, yeah. So I come over with the left leg up and reach up, all right? So try each side. See if you've got a side that's stronger. So try your side. There you go. Just take practice. There's some balance in that. Yeah. All right. Wonderful. Now try to come back down also, slow as you can. There you go. Look at y'all. Wonderful. Wonderful. There you go. Let's watch you get up. All right. There you go. Look at you. It was hard work, but you did it. Wonderful. Wonderful. So that's what I want y'all to work on at home. You're watching TV. You got carpet. It's not as hard. Try to work on this, getting up and off the floor to the point where you can do it unassisted with putting your hands on the floor or your hands to a chair. Just even if you do the swing around as opposed to the cross leg, okay? Now, let's do this. Just come back down to the floor. All right. All right, down to the floor. So now, once you're down here, what you're going to do? All right, once you're down here, there's different. So this is a mobility exercise in itself when we're down here. Okay, there's several different ways to do this. Okay, so let's see here. I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I get the right words. Cross-legged seated position. All right, so the right leg in front of the left. All right, your heels are coming in toward your knees closer. All right, your knees, you're letting your knees go. You're not pulling the shins back toward your buttocks. You're bringing the shins forward. So like it's a straight line out in front of you. All right, now what is this doing here? Look how your knees are out to the side. This is externally rotating into your hip socket. All right, so normally if you're sitting in a chair, you're like this, right? All right, so this is externally rotating your hip sockets. And that's what you don't get in the chair. Where are you not sitting also? On the thighs. So you're not getting all that weight into the hamstrings and that solidifying of all that stuff in the bottom. You're sitting on what you're supposed to sit on. Yes, sit bones, your buttocks. Right? Let's change over to the other side. Feel what that other side feels. Right? Bring your hands to the side of your body. Lift up to the spine. Right? Don't lift your chin. That's not lifting your spine. That's lifting the back of your neck. Right? Chin is level. You're lifting up tall. Right? Don't jet your lower ribs out. Pull your lower ribs in toward your spine. Lift up to the crown of your head. So we're just trying to sit tall. I talk about this all the time in my yoga classes, don't I? All right? So we're just trying to sit tall. All right? Now, this is one seated method. All right? So there's a 90-90. I do this all the time. So the right leg is staying in front of you. All right? The left leg comes out to the side. All right? And you see children sitting like this all the time, don't you? All right? So you've got an internally rotated hip here on the top one and an externally rotated hip on the bottom. Now, the best thing to do here is we're going to use this pose quite a bit today, okay? Quite a bit today. Now, press from the knee to the ankle. Press that firmly and engage that. Here's a mobilization while you're sitting here. You're watching TV. Press down firm. Take 3 breaths. Relax it. Press down firm. Press knee to ankle into the floor. Lift up to the crown of the head. You feel that when you do that? Press down again. Lift up to the crown of your head. Release it. Once again, press down firmly. Lift up to the crown of your head. Release it. So you do about 10 of those while you're setting this 90-90. So while we're here, what are we going to do? Other side. All right, now, what do you feel different now when you came to the other side? Does it feel different? Yeah. Yeah, and there we go. So when you're doing these mobilizations, you may discover something about your body. And that could be because there's imbalances from just general muscular development within your body. Maybe if you're a walker or a runner, you lead with your right leg. Your right leg and right hip will be a little stronger. Maybe you fell when you were young and broke the left leg, and you favor the right leg. So the right leg is stronger than the left leg. So if you figure that out, like, oh my gosh, this knee on this left leg is sticking out, do the side that you have the least range of motion in twice. So do it more than the other side. All right, so let's bring the hand to the side, bring your hand, let's do what we just did. Press that knee to ankle in, squeeze in firmly, 3, 2, 1, release it. All right, again, press knee to ankle, press down firmly, lift up to the crown of your head. 3, 2, 1. Release the knee. Once again, press the knee to ankle firmly into the floor, lift up to the crown of the head. 3, 2, 1. Release. And then once again, press knee to ankle, ankle to knee in there. Press firmly, hold. 3, 2, 1. Release. All right, you see kind of the work you can do there? Did you feel that when you press down? You feel more action in that hip, right? More action in that hip. All right, so I'm just moving. Let's go to the next one. So we said cross-legged, remember? 90-90. What is our third one? We got 4 ways to set here. 4 ways to set here. And I just lost my map. All right, long leg. All right. Legs long. All right. All right, so legs are long. So you have an indication to try to lean back, right? All right, so we want to try to get our hips over. Now, with the knees to the floor, the back of the knees is a little harder. Bend your knees a little bit, right? Like you've got a ball under the knees. Like you pull your toes back toward your knees. Bring your hands to the side and try to lift your heart. Lift your heart. This is your other, not your chin. Lift to the crown of your head. Lift to the crown of your head. Don't lift your chin up, all right? So this is the long-legged seated position, all right? Long-legged seated position. Not real comfortable, is it? You feel it in your lower back, don't you? Because all this stuff is tight up under here, the long-legged seated position. Okay, now let's look at another variation thereof. It's one-legged. So let's pull the left leg up, right? All right, and I'm holding the left leg. Now I can pull into that left leg and lift up to the crown of the head. Notice my long leg, I'm extending to the heel, but I still have that ball under there, right? Now lift up and hold. Lift up and hold. Now we're just sitting here watching whatever on TV, all right? All right? Now let's change to the other side, the other leg, the other leg. All right, now pull in and lift up to your heart. You got that ball under the left leg now, or the extended leg, and you're lifted up, all right? You're lifted up, all right? And now we're going to release. All right, now the same variation of this pose, but this is a much harder one, okay? So I want to take one leg out to the side and bend. That's hard, all right? Now, look how your knees spell out wide. Try to pull your knee in line with your hip. Oh, that's much harder, isn't it? All right, so you may only want to do that, right? Or here. So that's much harder, all right, much harder, all right? Let's come back and just do the other side, all right? The other side, much harder. But you can pull that knee in and lift up, all right? Now look at all the rotations and the movement you're doing in the thigh here. That's harder. So you may not have to do that. I mean, just that extended leg, all right? All right, all right, so let's review those. Cross-legged. All right, I've got right in front of the left, lift it up. All right, let's take the left in front of the right. All right. 90-90, we're taking the right leg stays long, the left leg out to the side. All right. Now we're pressing knee to ankle in that front leg. Remember our mobilization here would be press in and release. Press that knee to ankle, release. All right. Let's change sides. Let's go to the left to right. All right. All right, again, that mobilization, knee to ankle, knee to ankle. We're pressing in, releasing, pressing in, releasing. All right, what's the long leg? Remember the long leg, both legs forward. How's our knees? They're bent, right? They're slightly bent, like you got a ball under your knees, right? Like you got a ball under your knees. Toes pull back, hands to the side of the body. Try to lift your heart. A lot harder, right? All right, remember the 2 variations now. Let's just lift up and hold. Let's hold for 5 breaths here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release. All right, now remember the one leg. I've got the right leg extension. I pull. Now, I have a little bit of daylight between calf and thigh here. That ankle is in line with my hip. And I'm going to pull my arms into it where I can pull my chest up. That right leg is bent. Let's hold here for about 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release. Let's change the other side. Let's pull that left leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're releasing. Now remember the other variation if you want to try it. You don't have to. All right, you can come back to the extended leg. I've got that leg behind me. I'm lifted up. Now, that knee, though, is not out to the side. It's lying on my hip. Now, that's a little harder. Now, let's do something here. Let's talk about something here if you want to try that. That makes it a little easier. You can take a block and set on the block and then bring the leg back. Try that. Right? Try that. A little easier. A little easier. I'm setting up on a block. Does that make it a little easier? Yeah. Makes it a little easier, doesn't it? Makes it a little easier. Now, you've got this bent leg behind you here, this bent leg to the side, and you're pressing that shin into the floor, Yeah. All right, that's easier. But you're getting a lot of mobilization here. Let's try the other side on that just to play with it. All right, let's do the other side. All right. Press down. All right. A little bit harder, but the block makes it more accessible, right? And then what you do is you just work off the block over time. Or you take a blanket that's maybe a little lower than the block. Or if that doesn't work at all and the block is, and you're still having a problem, you set on 2 blocks. All right? We're just not in a chair. All right? Okay, let's come down. All right, so we can come off. So now those 4, 5, that one was, let's all sit in the cross legs just to bring emphasis to what we're doing. All right. So we're in a cross legs seated position. We're lifting up through our spine. Now, so those 4 different setting positions. All right, let's say you're watching TV. Get down on the floor, you're watching TV. There's no use to just sit in one. You get a little fidgety, that's fine. You move over, you come back, your legs come long, you're working. There is a mobilization in itself. So if you get into, you're sitting the floor watching the TV and you're like, man, this is, in one position, you change the legs, you come over to the side. So moving back and forth amongst those 4 positions really help because you're just doing different rotations and movements within the hip. And it's a mobilization in its own. Your fidgeting is a mobilization of its own. And then a couple of times, maybe you'll just come up and stand up a couple of times, come back down, come back up, right? And come back down, and then sit long legged. So just that whole thing, you don't need a yoga teacher to show you that, right? Or to lead you through it. Do it yourself. About 30 minutes a day. You can do that while you're watching your favorite show, or you're just sitting around. Maybe you're reading. Maybe you stop and read for a page or 2, then move to a different position. So you can read on the floor. So try to find you an activity where you're not just sitting here like, I hate this, that you've got something that you can kind of occupy your mind, but move with it. All right. So you're not doing this. All right. All right. So, and you don't have to do this every day, but try to find your 3 days a week where you can practice it. And the more practice, the better you'll get at it. Okay. All righty. Any questions? Now let's do one more thing. Let's come sit in our chair and bring your ball with you. Bring your ball with you. Make sure your chair's on the mat. There you go. Good job. All right, I'm going to put this chair on your mat for you. All right, and if you're sitful. All right. So another thing you can do if you're just sitting on a chair and you've got this ball, all right, and a tennis ball, what I gave you guys out here, if you didn't bring a tennis ball, this is a lacrosse ball. And the lacrosse ball is harder. It's harder. All right. So the tennis ball is softer, so you'll get more work out of the lacrosse ball, but it may be more painful. And you're going to feel maybe a little pain in this sometimes. So I'm going to sit back in the chair, right, where my back's against the chair. I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to place it a little bit back toward my hip joint, and I'm going to let the leg come down. You feel that? All right, and then I'm going to take a couple of breaths. I'm going to lift it. I'm going to move it a couple of inches, come back down. All right, you feel that? Yeah. All right, lift it up, come a little bit to the front of the chair, back down. All right. If you want more, elbow to knee. Oh, you feel it there, don't you? Now we're trying to break up all that stuff, that sticky stuff in there, the fascia that's in there. We're trying to break it up a little bit, get more blood flow in there, all right? So let's come up. Let's take that ball out. Let's do the, well, I don't want you to be lopsided. Let's do the other side. Let's go back toward the hip joint, right in the middle there, all right? Press down. You can either just apply the weight of the leg, or you can lean a little forward on it, okay? All right. Hold for about 5 breaths. Hold for about 5 breaths. We don't want to do this real quickly, because it's kind of moving into more of the stretching idea, but we're trying to get that. It takes a little time for this to work. All right, let's come back up. Let's go back to about the middle of our thigh and down and come forward. All right. That's 3, 2, 1. We're going to lift up. We're going to take that ball up toward the front now of the chair. Let's come down on that. Now, that one's a little bit more because my knee is hanging a little bit. Feel that. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up. Now, we just did one time. So I would do this 3 or 4 times, on each side where you're just sitting here, you're at the house. Now, you've got to have a little bit harder surface that the leg's under. So if you're sitting on the couch, it's not going to give you that resistance. You've got this soft surface in this chair here, but it's a little hard on the bottom. So you need something. If you're sitting on the couch, that ball's going to sink into the couch, and you're not going to get it up into the thigh. And I want it up into the thigh, All right, makes sense to you? All right, so those are, if you're setting, and that's what you can do, set. All right. Now, a couple of things you can do setting too. If you can't get up on the floor, you can pull one leg up. All right. Yeah, that doesn't work too much sometimes. All right. Now lift your heart. Yeah. All right. Pull the opposite leg up. Here, we'll get it in a minute. Come down. All right, now take your 2 blocks. Okay, put them down. Paint your legs on your block. Set to the front of your chair. Bring your knees together and the mount of your big toes together, and you just let your legs come out, and then walk your ankles in where the sole of the feet are touching. All right. Now, don't lean back and lift up. Bring your hands to your hips. All right. So not quite as intense. We're on the floor, right? But if you can't get up and off the floor, here's where you can go. You can even come forward a little bit, hands to knees. All right. Okay, come up. All right, that 90 degree, where you can only use one leg, so you just take it out to the, notice how I'm on the big toe side of my foot. I'm over to the side. I'm pressing that knee down. You can't really actuate the front leg, but you're pressing that knee down. So we're getting that rotation in, See, I'm on the big toe side of my foot there. The knees pull back. And if I can pull it back a little further, I will. But I want to be from heel to big toe back. Now, rotate your belly button forward. Now, remember those actuations you're doing? Do your belly, squeeze your buttocks. Let go. Squeeze your buttock. You feel it in that thigh when you squeeze your buttocks? Let go. Squeeze the buttocks. Let go. Squeeze the buttocks. Let go. All right, let's do the other side just because we need to. All right, leg out to the side. All right, you're going to pull that knee back where you can. All right, knees over ankle in the front leg. All right. All righty, now we're going to squeeze the buttocks. Let go. 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 Bring it forward. All right, now we've got our blocks forward. We're going to take them a little bit in front of us. We're going to take our legs on with our knees bent. We're sitting at the front of our chair. We're going to bring our hands to our hip points, and we're going to bring our hands on top of our knees. Now, from my upper sternum to my pubis bone, I want to keep long. I'm just going to slide my hands to my knee. All right? Pull your toes back toward your knees. Now let your head hang. Breathe. 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 Just slide all the way back up. So, if you're having a problem getting up and off the floor, maybe this is where you start. You start on your chair, you work on your chair, and you work in those, remember, legs wide, all right? All right? Hands down. So what are we doing here? We're getting that external, because we're sitting like this, we got the knees coming out. We want those knees to come out. We're coming out with those knees, right? All right? All right, you feel that? All right, now let's come over to one side. Remember the 90-90? All right? All right. Come each side. We're just reviewing. Each side. All right. Come back. Long leg. Hands to your knees at the front of you, just sliding down with a flat back. Okay. We're going to lift back up. Now you can bend one leg and pull the other leg into the chair. You can even extend that leg on the block now. Okay. And now pull that knee in. So there's some things you can do while you're just sitting also, okay? I prefer you be on the floor though, but that may not happen. All right. Release that leg, pull the other leg in. Okay. And release. All right, so you kind of got the idea of what we want to do as far as working our hips. When we're setting all the time. So when you have this free time, when you're setting, bring yourself to the floor, or if you're having a problem getting off the floor, work in the chair and do what we just did, those 4 different setting positions. I prefer you come to the floor, and if you're struggling, I'd like for you to come to the floor between each one of them, at least, here, just come all the way back up. I use my hands there. Come back down, over, hang out, come back up. See how much work that is? So we're just getting up and off the floor. If one time is all you're good for, all right, you come up and off. When you sit there, move around in those 4 different positions. Just don't sit in one stationary the whole time, okay? So that moving around will help you from one position to the other position. All right, okay, I'm coming back down. We're going to start moving on, all right? Any questions so far? All right, there's some other things you can do, and I'm just going to, let's see, we're on the floor. All right, so you're on the chair, Martha. All right, so there's a couple of other things you can do here when you're set. You can take your block when your legs are long, and you can put them under your thighs, all right? Or if you've got, what a foam roller looks like? You can put a foam roller. And then as you sit here, you're going to lean a little forward and press those thighs into the block. Yeah, you feel that? Yeah, all right. All right. Now, let's take that off. Let's look now. Or you can come down to your back. All right, come down to your back. Let's play with this now. We're going to play with this on your back. These are just some other things you can do. We're going to come to pigeon pose on our back. So on our back, our hands are down beside the body. Take your left leg up toward the ceiling. Bring the left ankle across the right. All right, now you've got the ankle across. Now I want you to take the hands, reach the left hand through that hole, hold underneath your knee. Now, Pull the knee back to your chest and let your back come flat to the floor. Now, this is kind of a stretch. We're going to hold it here, but you can pull back and release a little bit. Pull back and release a little bit. And the third one, you're going to pull back and hold. Hold. So you're pulling that right knee back to your chest. Breathe. 3. And you want to hold this for a while, maybe 10 breaths here. 2, 1. We're going to release. We're going to change legs now. The right leg is coming over the left. Let's do the same thing. Reach that right hand between the hole underneath the knee. All right, now pull that left knee toward your chest, but your back is flat to the floor. Make sure your back's flat to the floor and your shoulder blades on the floor. Now let's do this. Pull the knee back gently. Release. Pull the knee back gently. Release. Pull the knee back gently. Release. We're going to hold this time. Pull the knee back and hold. Now hold. You're gently pulling that knee back. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Release. Okay. Let's roll over and let's come seated on our buttocks. All righty. I'm looking at my notes here now. Let's look at a couple of things we're going to do here. All right. Let's come onto our back or to our buttocks and seated. All right. All right, everybody. Now, let's bring our hands back and bring our knees wide. All right. Now, this is a very simple one here, a very simple one. But now we want to now watch what I'm going to do here. Now, notice how my chest is moving a lot. All right. We're trying to drop the knees with as little movement of the chest or the back as you can. Little movement. One of the best ways to do this to keep that from occurring, and we're not going to come to the wall, is to come up against the wall. It's harder because it stops your back, because now you're isolating it into the hips. All right, isolating the hip. So if your back's against the wall, it's harder. All right, so let's do that a few times. All right, knees are wide. All right. Now your hands, fingers pointing toward behind you. You're going to lean back a little bit, but you're not going to let your chest cave in. All right. Now we're going to try to look forward and keep everything forward. Now there is a way where you turn the head, but we're not doing that. We're working on our hips. Okay. So let's drop them to the left. Try to keep that back as stable as you can. And now when you drop it to the left, press that right knee down toward that left ankle. Come back. Other side. 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 Come back. All right, you see how that works in your hips where you're getting that rotation. So the big thing here is what we're doing is all the way that big greater trochanter at the top of your hip, there's a big ball that fits into your hip socket. All right. When you have a hip replacement, that's what they replace, right? So what we're doing here is we're working in that hip socket to free all that stuck up stuff in there to give you more mobility, more range within the hip socket. All that range in your hip socket allows you to do this. All right. So a lot of that has to do with the range of motion in your hips, but also there's some strength elements too. Strength elements too. So, but that's why it takes time to work it. Okay, now let's do something. Let's find our blanket. We're going to come on our knees, but we're going to use our blanket for our knees. All right. So I'm going to take my blanket about middle of my mat, fold it up once. All right. Then I'm going to come, bring your blocks forward with you. All right. And we're going to take the blocks on the high end. Notice how I've got the blocks. I'm turning, guys, so you can see me out there. The blocks on the high end, they're over my shoulder. Over my shoulder. Okay. A little forward will be fine. A little forward will be fine. All right, now, watch before you do. I'm going to help you out here, okay? You good? All right. Now, if you need to rest, you just rest, okay? Now, okay. All right, now, guys. Let's play with this because we got to get that right foot inside that right block. All right? That right foot. So lengthen it. Pull the knee up towards your armpit and inside the block. All right, wonderful. All right. Now, kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to show you two different things here. We do this a lot in some of our gentle yoga classes, but we're going to play with this a little different, and we're going to do it two different ways. All right, now, the ball of the foot, that right foot, is going to stay on the floor. So watch this. This is what I don't want you to do. See, I pull the toe back. I want you to keep the ball of the foot on the floor, and I'm going to walk back only as far as I can. You feel that? Now come forward with your blocks and lift your heart and look up. All right. Now let's look at something. Is that knee past your ankle? Now walk your toes a little forward where the knee is right under the ankle. Now let's play with this now. Keep the ball, walk back, pull back. Now see if you can round your back and look at your belly button. Now walk the blocks forward, knee over ankle, and look forward. We're going to do that. Now, this is the mobilization. It's moving back and forth, back and forth. Now, walk the blocks back, keep the ball of the foot in, and pull back. Come forward, blocks under your shoulders, lift your heart. Press the knee forward, look up, or just look forward. All right, let's do that again. Walk back. Ball of foot on the floor. Come forward. All right, again. Walk back. Come forward. Now, what we're going to do in the last one here, we're going to hold it. Walk back. Come forward. Now, as you come forward, here's what I want you to do. That back knee, I want you to press it down, but try to drag it forward. Just press in the floor, but pull it forward. Pull the hip forward. Now, when you do that, make the tailbone come down. Heavy on that hip. Look forward. Look forward. 3, 2, 1. Come back and then bring that right knee by your left. All right, now just hold for a moment. Do you feel that in that hip a little bit? All right. You know what we got to do, don't you? The other side. All right. Left leg comes out. All right. We're going to bring that left foot inside the left block. All right. Now, I'm going to walk that ankle a little further past the knee. All right, now, what are we going to do with the ball of the foot? We're going to keep it on the floor, right? All right, we're walking back. Straighten that leg best we can. All right, now, walk the block forward, knee. Lift your heart. Now, look here. I'm pulling my heart forward. See how I'm pulling my heart forward? All right, walk back. Heart forward. Pull back. Heart forward. Pull back. Heart forward. Now let's hold. Lift your heart. Now what do we do with that back knee? Press that right knee into the floor. Pull it forward into the floor. Let go of your hip. Feel it heavy, heavy. All right, heavy. You want that weight on that foot, like you're trying to push that left foot in the floor. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Walk back, knees together. All right, now, do you notice something? We did 3 things and then we held it, right? So we tested our length, how far we could go on those 3. And the last one, because we had moved a little bit more into depth, we should be a little deeper than we started. And then we're going to hold in the deepest position that we come to. You see what I'm saying? All righty, all righty. Now, we got our hands on our blocks, all right? I got to look at my notes here, make sure I know what I'm doing, okay? All right, let's see here. Knees to side. All righty. Let's take one block out to the side. I'm going to take it over to the right side. And I'm not going to have my hands on the blocks. I'm coming to the floor. All right, now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch me here. All right, that block is out to the side. Now, you've done this in one of my yoga classes. All right, leg extends. All right, I'm going to turn to the side where they can see me on Can the knee, the blocks by your knee, leg extends. Now, when I do this, I'm gonna bring that knee out to the side. Notice that? When I bring that knee out to the side, I'm trying to lift the ankle. See that? All right. I'm gonna bring it, look, forward, back, and down. All right, let's do that together again. All right, let's do that. Lengthen the leg, bend the knee, lift the ankle and the knee out to the side, pull it up toward the armpit, drop it back down. All right, you feel that? Let's do that again. Out long, lift out to the side, lift the ankle. That knee is bent. There you go. Bring it up toward the armpit, rotate it down to the floor, extend it long. Ah, there we go. Everybody looking good. All right, out to the side, lift the ankle, bend the knee, pull it up toward your armpit, drop it back down, extend long. All right, out to the side, bring it forward toward the armpit, drop it down, extend it long. One more time because it's fun. Out to the side, pull it toward your armpit, drop it down, extend it long. Now watch, bring the knee by the left knee. All right, let's rest for a moment. Watch this now, guys. Let's pull back to child's pose. All right, tailbone coming toward your knees. Arms are long. Take a couple of breaths here. Breathe in and out of your nose. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come back up. All right, now guys, let's look at something here. We just did. Now, remember how we did this? So we rotated in a particular way. Out to the side, long, lift up, knee bent, ankle lifted, pull up, and we rotate it back down. Remember how we did that? All right, we're going to do in the opposite direction. Watch. Pull in toward your armpit. Look at me. Lift it up and lift the ankle. Then extend it back long. Oh, you feel the difference there? Pull it back into your armpit. All right, here we go. Up over that block. Lift the ankle. Extend it back. Pull it back into your armpit. One more time because it's fun. Lift up. Extend back. Pull back in. Drop the right knee down. Come to child's pose. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Let's come back up. Come back and take your block. Take it over the other side. Because we got to do the other side. How are we doing? All right? All right? Okay, now. Blocks out right by your knee there. All right, let's play with the first one where we extend the leg first. Okay, now. All right, let's go this together. We're doing the left leg now. Extend the leg long. Bend the knee, lift that ankle over to the side. Pull it up toward the armpit. Rotate it back down. Straighten the leg. There we go. Out to the side, knee bent. Lift that ankle. Pull it forward. Rotate it back down. Extend the leg low. Out to the side. Rotate forward. Down. Extend long. All right. Bend the knee out to the side. Lift that ankle. Pull it up. Rotate it down. Extend it long. All right. That's enough for that side. Drop the knee down. Pull back to child's pose. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Let's lift up. Now we're going to do the other rotation. Let's see if you can remember the other rotation. All right. Knee pulls in toward the armpit this time. Now lift that knee up and lift the ankle. Now extend it straight back. There you go. Pull it into your armpit. All right. Knee out to the side. Lift knee and ankle. Extend it out long. Pull it back into your armpit. We're doing 2 more. Out to the side. Lift the ankle. Extend the leg. Pull it back into your armpit. All right. One more time. Out to the side. Extend the leg long. Pull it back into your armpit and drop the knee down.
pull back to child's pose. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Back up to tabletop. Okay, let's sit back on our buttocks. How we doing out there? All right, so we rotated that hip in really big different ways, didn't we? But we also engaged our core to build strength. So we were in tabletop. We're having to use the belly to keep everything lifted and to lift that leg. So that builds strength. That builds strength. All right, now we're going to come back and work our hip a little bit different, but not a lot, not a lot. Remember the 90 to 90 step? Remember the 90 degree? All right. Right leg's what's going to be in front of us this time. Left leg's back out to the side. Our 90-degree angle. All right, so let's look at that. The front right leg is in line with your ankle. Now, the back leg is in line with your ankle. All right? That's that 90 degree. Now, remember, that's one of our setting positions, right? All right, so that's one of our setting positions. So at this setting positions, we're going to play with this. So I've got my right hand out, my left hand to my hip. I'm leaning a little bit over on that side. All right? Now, here's what I want you to do. Remember what we did? Press knee to ankle firmly to the floor. Engage that. I want you to engage that. Now watch. Pick the knee up. That left knee, the back knee. Yep. Pick that knee up. See if you can lift the ankle. If you can lift the ankle. Bring it forward onto the ankle. Just as far as you can get it. Don't use it with your hand. Just bring it where you can with your leg. Okay. Don't try to put. That's okay. If it doesn't go forward, that's fine. Don't bring it forward with your hand, okay? If it just comes to here, that's fine, okay? All right, so we want to explore we don't want to aid it. We want to help it. We want to find it with our own leg, okay? It makes sense? All right? All right, so let's bring it back down again, all right? We got that left leg out the side. Bring it up ankle or where you can. Reach it back. Don't bring it to the floor. Pull it back. Come forward. Pull back. Come forward. Pull back. There you go. Pull forward. Reach back. Pull forward. Reach back. Pull forward. Reach back. Bring the knee down. All right. I should have told you this a while ago. Let's come up and find 2 blocks. Let's come back with that right knee in front of the left. Blocks in front of me now. All right. All right, we got the 90-degree net and the right leg's in front of us. All right. Now, I want you to press in. So this is the second. This is not a mobilization. We're going to hold this, okay? All right. But the mobilization here is I want you to press that knee to ankle in the floor. Now, hands beside you and lift up. We're going to walk our hands. If you got those blocks, you can bring them up high. You can walk down and you can bring your forehead to the block. I'll cross that leg. Cross that leg. All right. Now, that front right leg, what are you doing with it? I want you to push the knee and the ankle firmly into the floor on that front leg. All right. Let your head hang. 5, 4. Breathe now. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's lift up. Now, we only held it for 5 breaths. I recommend you hold it for 10, just for time's sake. So the longer you hold this, but pressing that knee to ankle into the floor, the better off it will be, okay? All right, now let's change side. You know what we're doing. You can. You don't have to have the blocks. Yeah, you don't have to have the blocks. But when you do that, Susan, I want you to make sure you extend. And if you want more, Susan, look at here. And then lift up. That's hard. Yeah. Lift down. So if you want more, that's your ball. All right. Okay, now I've moved the blocks out of my way. I've got the right leg over to the side back. We're going to do the same thing we just did. We're just doing the other side now. Doing the other side. All right, now you know what we're doing now. Lift the knee, extend it back, pull it forward on top of that ankle. Pull back. Try not to move your hip. Move this all in your hips you can. Pull forward. Pull back. Pull forward. Pull back. Pull forward. Pull back. Pull forward. One more time. Back. Forward. We're going to go back and down. This is work, isn't it?
One side is a lot more stiff than the other.
It's just, that is very common, very common, very common. I mean, it's just, you have a stronger side. I mean, it's just according to your left, right, you lead with your right leg, you lead with your left leg, you can tell from the bottom of your shoes. Same thing with arms, same thing with shoulders. Right? I see it all the time. All right, now, hands to the side, those blocks are forward. We're going to come over that leg. Now, the blocks can come, because I want your back to be flat. I don't want you to round your back a lot here. That's why we're using the blocks, all right? All right, now remember I said I'd like for you to hold this for about 10 breaths, but if you can, for today, we're going to hold it just for 5 breaths, 5 breaths, 5 breaths. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come up. All right, now let's stay where we are. All right, now here's another thing I want you to play with. All right, this is real subtle, okay? This back leg we're going to start with. This right leg over the side. Press the knee into the floor. I'm turning where they can see me out there. Lift the ankle. Come down. You feel that in your hip? Lift the ankle. Come down. Lift the ankle. Come down. Lift the ankle. Come down. Now keep the ankle pressed down. Lift the knee. Down. Lift the knee. Down. Lift the knee. Down. Lift the knee. Down. Now listen. Ankle and knee lifts. Don't lean back. 4. Ankle and knee lifts. Down. Ankle and knee lifts. Down. All right, that's working it. All right, now, watch me. This is the harder one. The front leg. Press the back leg in. All right, now watch this. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. You feel that all the way up into your hip? Now here's the hard one. Press the knee in. Lift the ankle. Down. Lift the ankle. Down. Lift the ankle. Maybe it's just a 1/4 inch. Down. Lift the ankle. Down. Change sides. Just do the other side. All righty. Let's start with that back leg again. That back leg again. All right, that back leg again. All right, knee presses down. Lift the ankle. 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 Down. All right. You know we're going. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. All right. We're coming to the front one. All right. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Knee lifts. Down. Where are we going? Ankle. Knee press in. Down. Ankle lifts. Down. Ankle lifts. Down. Ankle lifts. Down. Ankle lifts. Down. All right. Both legs forward. How are we doing? All right? Any questions so far? All right, we're going to just shake things out a little bit. Hands back behind us, legs out in front of us, knee bent. We're just going to windshield wiper our knees, but keep our chin centered. Left, right, or center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center. All right. Do you see all these different things we can do? Setting on the floor. If you're just sitting on the floor, you come to that 90-90. You're watching the TV. Lift the ankle and the knee. Swap sides. Do the same thing. Extend the leg, bring it to the ankle. Work on it. If you're just doing nothing but watching TV, what better way can you work toward helping your body? All right, now let's do something. Let's come off the floor and come to our chair. All right, just for a moment. All right, off the floor, come to your chair. And I've got my chair turned to the side. I want your chair facing toward me. Make sure it's on the mat. Make sure it's on the mat. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That getting up off the floor is good for you. And all that movement of our legs and our thighs, especially when you're on your knees and we're leaking that leg out. Very good for that. All right, now, kind of go ahead and sit in your chair and watch me. Now, the biggest thing that we need to work on, remember I talked about flexion and extension? All right, remember, flexion is when you pull things in close. Extension is when you extend them out. All right, now I want you to look at something here. So this is one of the, if there's any one exercise or mobilization that's great for your hips, is hip extension, because we're trying to counteract this. All right, trying to counteract this 90-degree angle. That all these muscles are being conformed to this shape, not the knee back. But when you run or when you walk, that knee comes back. All right, so notice how it's back. All right, so there's an extension in that leg. See how the knee's past the hip? I'm exaggerating. But if you're tight, right, if you're tight in that, you don't have that mobility within your hips to extend the legs to get the full gait of your walk, or if you're a runner. All right, so this is probably one of the best things to do, but it's, as I teach yoga, I see it's the hardest thing for people to do. All right, so watch what I'm gonna do. I'm sitting over, I've got my right leg on the chair. I'm sitting over to the side. All right, so I've got all the way over to the side. All right, kind of see where I'm at. We do this. Now, I'm holding the other side of the chair with this hand where I won't fall off my chair. Can you find this? I've got the right hand on the chair. I've got the right leg on the chair. The left leg is off the chair. All right, now, I'm going to lift this leg. I'm going to hold down toward my ankle. Right? I'm going to squeeze half the thigh. This is hard. Right? And I'm going to drop the knee down and pull the knee back without doing this. All right? I want to lift my heart. Now look forward. Now pull calf to thigh and pull the knee back. Oh, y'all are doing real good. Now this is what I don't want you to do, that knee out to the side to do this. All right. Y'all are doing wonderful. All right, now pull it up. And here's our mobilization. When you come down, I want you to just tighten your buttocks. Tighten buttocks, pull down. Lift up. Pull down. There you go. And that's great the way you're doing it. All right. Pull up. Come down. Pull up. Now look how I'm trying to get my knee past my hip. Down and back. Pull up. Now what are we going to do on this last one here? We're going to hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Pull up. All right, let's go to the other side. All right, let's go to the other side. Slide all the way to the other side of your chair. All right, I'm holding that chair with my left hand. All right, I'm going to pull that right knee up, hold down calf to thigh. All right, now, pull down, lift up. Pull down, lift up. Pull down, lift up. Pull down and hold. 3, 2, 1. Pull up. All right.
let go of the leg. I'm going to let you stay in your chair for this one, okay? All right, so I want you to take your blanket and your mat to the wall. All right. Hey guys, I want you to take your blanket and your mat to the wall and then bring both your blocks with you. All right, this is just an extension of what we just did. All right. And you can do the same thing we just did, but they're going to be up against the wall, okay? Because I think this is going to be too much for you, all right? All right. Okay, now. The blanket folded out is going to come against the baseboard. All right. I want you guys to come up here and watch me first. All right. Come up here near me. Once you get your stuff set up, come up here near me. All right. Now, so this is a little deeper. So I gave you the starting pose on your chair, right? Gave you the starting pose on your chair. I'm going to give you two other ways to do this. And this is where I want you to get to with this pose, because this is probably the most helpful of all of them, okay? All right, now kind of watch. All right, I've got my two blocks because they're going to help me. All right, here's the first one. Now, I'm on my knee. I'm going to do the right knee first. So I'm pulling that calf up. I'm going to slide it back to the baseboard. See how it's up against the baseboard? Now I'm a little forward, right? Now, my shoulder under my, I'm going to bring on the top of that foot and I'm going to walk the blocks back. All right. All right. This is one. I'm going to do the other side just for it. Notice how I'm walking forward the blocks. Knees come together. All right. Left knee back. Walk the blocks back. Walk them under my shoulder. All right. Lift up. All right. Kind of got that? All right. Now, notice the distance between my buttocks and the wall. Just a little longer here. All right. Now, knees come together. Now, this is the harder one. And I want you to find what works. Remember, we're working within that. If you need to go back to the chair, you do it. If you want to try this, you do it. Remember, I had the knee on the ground. Now, here's the harder one, which I want you to work toward. Okay? Right knee up against the baseboard. All right? Same thing we just did. All right? Blocks walk under my shoulder. Now, watch this. Leg comes up. Blocks walk in. Hand to knee. Look at my buttocks pressing up against the wall. All right? See that? Yeah. Yeah, I feel it in the belly of my thigh. Yeah, and this is where, but the chair is the start. Remember now, I'm going to show you that on the other side. All right, guys out there, knee comes down, left knee up against the wall. All right, I got the blocks forward of my hip, right leg comes forward. Walking the blocks back, hand to knee, buttocks to wall. All right, you see that? Now, the mobilization here is that squeeze the buttocks tight, relax. Squeeze the buttocks tight, relax. Squeeze the buttocks tight, relax. Because when you squeeze that buttocks tight, you're taking some of the action out of your lower back here, because you can feel it in your lower back here, and you're isolating it in that hip. So that squeezing of that buttocks tight, if you don't know if you got your buttocks tight, bring your hands back there and feel it when you tighten it. All right? All right? All right, so come to the wall, and I want you to try one of those. All right? Come to the wall, I want you to try one. Try the first one where the knee stays on the floor. And if that's too much, don't go any further. Don't go any further. All right, try your left knee. Let's do this together, okay? All right, so your left knee's on the mat. You're going to pick up your right knee, slide it back to the baseboard. All right, the foot is up on the wall. Foot up on the wall. All right, now I'm a little bit, now the knee's down though, Martha. That knee's down. All right, now you got that blocks a little forward. Now walk the blocks up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you feel that? Yeah, you feel that? All right, let's hold for, now lift your heart, look forward. All right, let's do some mobilization here. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Relax. Squeeze the buttocks tight. You can do this in chair too. Relax. You feel it when you squeeze the buttocks tight in that thigh? Squeeze the buttocks tight. Relax. One more time. Squeeze the buttocks tight.
relax. All right. Right knee forward, slide left knee back. All right. All right, walk the blocks back a little bit, buttocks back toward the wall. All right, here we go now. Squeeze the buttocks tight, relax. 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 Walk the blocks forward, bring the knees together. Do you want to do the other one? Okay, let's do the other one. All right, let's go right knee up against the wall, press back. Those blocks a little forward. Now walk them back under your shoulders a little bit, because now press that right knee back and now bring that left leg inside the block. Knee bent. Yeah. Now bring your hands to your knee. Oh, you feel that? Or no pain, remember, no pain. Yeah. Now, squeeze the buttocks tight. Relax. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Relax. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Relax. Hands to the blocks. Walk them forward. Come on to the knee on that left knee. Bring the right knee forward. We're changing sides. Left knee up against the wall. All right, right knee, right foot inside the block. Walk the blocks back. You can keep the hands to the blocks or hand to the knee. There we go. Now push your buttocks toward that heel in the wall. Lift your heart. Now let's do that. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Relax. 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 Hands back to blocks. Walk them a little forward. All right, come off that right knee. Bring both knees forward. All righty. How we doing? All right, let's come off our chair, come off the floor, just sit in our chair. All right. Anywhere do where you can see me. All right. Now, we've done all hip work to a large degree. All right. So there's also shoulder work that can be done here. And we're just going to briefly go over shoulder work because I work shoulder work so much in my chair work classes. And we did a whole series of shoulder work on Monday that is very beneficial for this. All right, so let's play with that for a moment. So the same thing we're going to do in our mobilizations for our shoulder is we're moving. Okay, now bring the hands over your head. All right. Now this is a very simple one. You're pulling your elbows back and looking up toward the ceiling. You're not leaning back. You know, lift up, bring your chin level, rotate your palms in, extend through your fingers. All right, let's do that again. Down, look up. Reach up, chin level. All right, here we go again. Pull elbows back and down. Reach up. Pull elbows down. Reach up. Now watch this. Hands stay right by, palms facing one another. Arms come down, but you're going to keep your back flat and you're going to reach your arms up and back as high as you can. Now you're going to bring your arms back over your head, keep the palms facing in each other. Now let's do that several times. Come down, reach up and back. Come forward, up over your head. Come down, reach up and back. Come forward and reach over your head. Come down, bring the hands to the side of your body. All right, you see now we were finding that length of our extension. Back far as we can, back far as we can. But you know what we're doing? We're not leaning forward or leaning back. It's all the work in the shoulder. All right, arms up shoulder height now. All right, palms turned up, thumbs pull back. We do this all the time in chair. Touch the top of your shoulders. Open your arms wide, pull your thumbs back, look up. Exhale down. Open. Down.
open, down, open, down, open. Now keep them at your shoulders, keep your chin level. All right, here we go now. Elbows in, elbows open, 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 arms wide. Hands come, fingers pointing into the creases of your hips. All right, now. Open the elbows wide, lift your heart, look up. Round your back, bring the elbows forward, tuck your chin. Open wide, look up. Pull back in and forward. Open wide, look up. Elbows in and look forward. Elbows wide and look up. Elbows forward and look down. Come back to center, arms come wide. Very simple one here. Left hand to your back. Now this is a stretch more or less. Right arm comes across, palm turn up. You're going to fold over that arm. Let your chin drop in front of that arm. You're going to feel the weight of your body across that right arm. Hold. I'd say you need to hold this for about 10 breaths. We're going to hold it for 5. 5, 3, 2, 1. Lift back up, wide arm. Left hand to your back, right hand to your back. Left comes across. We're just going to fold. Hold and breathe here. 3, 2, 1. Rise up, arms wide, pull back. Arms come down, hands come down. Now, we're sitting on a chair. All these things we did. Can you do that sitting on the floor? There, it gives you something else to do. So if you sit in a cross-legged seated position, use your shoulders. Simple things. Here, you can even take the arms down and reach up and back. Right? Down and back. So what we're trying to do is get rotation in these shoulders, movement in the shoulders. And we want to extend that. Those arms may come back further behind our back, further back down and back. All right? So, and if you have, you can even bring elbows in, elbows out. So anything you can do to move those shoulders in that seated position. Okay? So, it's 2:30. Just a little bit longer. So the main thing I want to get over here, the first thing we did, getting off the chair, setting on the floor, and getting up and off the floor. All right? Practice that daily. That's the best thing you can do for your mobility, is get out of the chair, get to the floor, set in the floor. Those 4 or 5, we had that one that was a little different on the one-legged thing. Those 4 different seated positions. Move around in those. Move around in those. If you get tired of moving around on your buttocks, move your shoulders. So that is simply what I want you to work on. Getting up and off the floor daily. Try at least 10 times a day. Maybe it's 5 in the morning, 5 at night. 5 in the morning is easy, 5 at night is easy, 6 in the morning, 6 at night. Get it where you can start lifting up without touching anything. Remember the cross-legged? It may take you a year. You may never get there. But work toward getting up with ease as opposed to pulling. Use your own strength. That builds core strength. Okay? All righty. I think we've